Hello Year 4, I hope you are well. Now this week's focus in English is all around the ISPACED openers that we've looked at quite a few times this year. So to start you off, I would like you to go through the acronym ISPACED and tell me which each one of the letter or letters stands for. So pause the video for a couple minutes and press play when you're ready with your ISPACED acronyms. So how did you do? Did you remember them all? Because the I in ISPACED stands for ing words, S is for similes, P is for prepositions, A for adverbs, C is for conjunctions, and ED are for those ED words. So well done if you got all them correctly. And as we go through this week's work, I would like you to use the poster that you can find on today's home learning. So make sure you keep your ISPACED poster with you at all times when you're going through your work this week, as it will help you make and understand all the different ISPACED sentence openers. So what we're going to do today is go through a few different examples of ISPACED openers. So let's start off with the first letter in ISPACED, and that is our ing openers. Simply put, they are openers, that end in ing. So what I've done here is I've left you a picture of Miss Harbert's cat, Kiki, and I would like us to go through and try and create an ISPACED opener sentence using ing. So if we want to create our own ing sentence opener, we've got to think about a few things. Let's think about what Kiki is doing. So she seems to be sleeping, stretching, could be resting, might even be snoring. We could then look to add more information. For instance, is she dreaming? And we can look at where is she doing this. So for instance, she's sleeping on the stairs or on the carpet, or potentially in the living room. Now with that information, I would like you to try and create one ing sentence opener that you can make from this picture of Kiki. See how you do. So how did you do with that? Because I've come up with a couple myself. So resting her eyes, Kiki sat stretched out on the stairs, and also sleeping, Kiki was dreaming about mice. So all those little things we built together beforehand have come in handy to help us construct an ing sentence opener. Now it's important to note you can just put one word as your opener, like I have with sleeping, but if you want to put a little phrase at the beginning, like I have with resting her eyes, that's absolutely fine as well. The next area of ISPACED openers we'll be looking at this week are similes. Now similes are when you compare two things together and bring a comparison about them. So the one that you all know really well in Year 4 is as quick as a flash. So when you're thinking about creating openers using similes, the words as and like are key. They are really good words to think about when you're creating a simile. So we're going to go through and create a simile to do with this picture of my dog Millie jumping over a fence. So once again, we've got to think about what Millie is doing. So we know that she's jumping, running, you could say she's leaping, and she's also taking part in agility. What you could do with a simile sentence is consider how is she feeling. So is she happy? Is she concerned? Also, you could even think about, is she going fast? And then you've got to consider what things jump or go fast, or maybe what's always happy, because you need to draw that comparison with what Millie's doing to something, an item or another creature or animal might be doing. So in this case, I have thought that kangaroos jump and cheetahs are an animal that are known for running quite fast. So see if you can make a simile sentence opener, from this picture, and I'll go through a couple more examples shortly. So how did you do? As you can see on the screen, I've got a couple examples for this picture of Millie jumping over. I've compared her to a cheetah and a kangaroo hopping. The next area we're focused this week is on prepositions. So it tells you the position of something, and we're coming back again to a picture of Kiki. So when you're thinking about making an ISPACED opener that is dealing in prepositions, it's really important to think where that item, creature or animal is in relation to something else. So as we can see from this picture here, Kiki is sat on the sofa. You could also say she's beside or next to the cushion, and we could even argue that she's in the living room. So that's the first part of our sentence already thought about. Then we can consider what is she doing. So she's looking up, she's relaxing, she could be in deep thought, or she might just be staring into space there. So now you have that information, I would like you to try and come up with one sentence starter which uses a preposition. Once again, have a look through the examples that I've done here, which relate to Kiki and a I-spaced opener which starts with a preposition. So I've got on top of the comfortable sofa, Kiki stared at the delicious food that was made, and beside the cushion sat one very relaxed kitten. Another type of sentence opener are based around conjunctions, and conjunctions are also known as connectives, and these are words that link two sentences together. So when you're thinking about creating an I-spaced opener which uses a conjunction at the start, it's important to think about what the animal or subject is doing at that point. So in this case, my dog Buster, he's resting, relaxing, could be shivering, he's standing with pride, and he's sitting with a feather in his mouth. So that is one part of the sentence. Then you want to think about what he might have done before. So in this case, he might have chased a bird, grabbed a feather, or swam in the sea, because we've now got the two clauses of a sentence ready to go. Now, in a normal sentence, you would have the connective or conjunction in the middle linking those two clauses. But what happens with a conjunction I-spaced opener is that we bring that conjunction to the beginning of the sentence, have a comma after that point, and then we talk about what happened before or after, sorry. So in this case, you might want to talk about the conjunction, what Buster did beforehand, and then what he's doing right now. So give this example a go. One conjunction I-spaced opener, see what you can do, and I'll share a couple with you in just a moment. So my examples are on the screen again. I have, as a result of chasing a bird, Buster now had a feather in his mouth, and because he jumped in the ice-cold sea, Buster was now shivering. So again, with these conjunction openers, it's just about flipping around the sentence, because if you look at the first example, Buster now had a feather in his mouth as a result of chasing a bird is a perfectly normal sentence, but to make it into a conjunction-based I-spaced opener, you have to put that last part of the sentence at the beginning, starting off with the conjunction. And then your final area on I-Space this week is all to do with ED openers, and that's quite simply words that end in ED. So you're looking for words that end in ED to start your sentence off. So I've left a picture of my dog Millie staring at a plate by the looks of it, and I want you to think about how she might be feeling at this particular point when she is sat at this table. So she could be starved, she could be determined to get some food, motivated also, and focused on the prize, which in Millie's case is always food. And then I want you to think about what she's doing. So she could be waiting for dinner, she could be sitting on a chair, or just quite frankly, staring at the camera. So once again, I would like you now to come up with one I-spaced opener which uses the ED word or letters at the beginning to come up with an opener. Let's see how you do. So once again, a couple examples are on the screen for you. I've gone for determined, Millie believed she could eat some of Mr. Bull's food, and focused, Millie was ready to pounce if any food was dropped. So as you can see, I've included a word that ends in ED at the beginning of my sentence, and then left a comma in it before I then go on to add some extra information. It's a really important thing to remember when you're doing openers as well, is that you leave a comma after you've finished your opener. So that is what you're going to be looking at through the week. Best of luck, Year 4, and I'll see you soon.